head coach Jim Crutchfield, Cedric Harris, C.J. Hester, and Sean Dyer. Coach, if you want to open it up with your field.
You know, when you shoot the ball that well, it solves a lot of any problems that might occur. But we didn't have a lot of problems creep up today. I thought we played strong defense early on, and especially in the half-court set. Bowie has a strong inside game, and we're not the biggest team in the league, but I thought that we played pretty good post defense and rotated when we had to, and that's what will help in the post. Still contain their guards pretty well. Overall, we played a really good game today. We're always hoping that come tournament time. We've been off for a couple of weeks. I'm just happy that we come out of the blocks playing well. And I'll really be honest, sometimes there's some laws in the game, but I thought we played 40 good minutes today.
Jim, there toward the beginning, they were having some success with the second chance points. You guys kind of took care of that and were able to then spread out the lead.
And some of them were out of transition. You know, they got a guy driving the bucket, and it wasn't so much that they were bigger, they were actually getting to the ball before us. And they had a couple of tip-ins and follow-ins out of misled in transition. And we're pretty good at running in transition both ways, defensively and offensively. And sometimes it's about boxing off, sometimes about running hard. I think the saw in that was about running hard. In addition to that, we were taking some chances early in the pressure and give up some numbers coming down 3-on-2. Made some minor adjustments so we didn't have to give up numbers, and that probably helped us on the boards a little bit too.
Coach, to have it said back in there, energize you guys. It looked like he was getting the crowd pumped up, and he got you guys fired up and led your transition game.
Played well, played extremely well, and you know, and we've been off for 2 weeks, and Cedric's been off for pushing a month now, but it didn't show. It never showed. He looked good with the ball, and playing good defense, and just picked up right where he left off. And that's what we were hoping for.
How difficult is that, Cedric, to be off all that time? And I'm sure you were doing therapy and things like that, but it's not the same as playing in a high-intensity game like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult. It showed a couple days that I came back, I was throwing the ball away to our team a lot. But with a couple live practices and Coach Crutchfield staying with me, it really helped.
Sean, you came off the bench. You're technically not a starter, but I think this team has about 10 of them. You came in and gave the team a lift right off the bat there and kind of stabilized things.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to do. Just come off the bench, get a spark, just try to help take the pressure off the guys as much as I can.
CJ, obviously this is a big, strong team that you faced. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster than you, but what team that you guys face is not? I mean, do you guys get tired of hearing that?
Well, we take every game the same, and we stress. We really stress on rebounding and really just outworking the other team. And I think when you stress just outworking the other team, it happens that you have to rebound the team, even if they're bigger. As long as you keep outworking the other team, I feel like rebound is a lot easier.
Jim, I guess you didn't have enough room out there for Alex, but you leave the conference player of the year and the tournament player of the year out of the interview room. But I guess that's what your team is. If you could bring any number of guys up here,
Absolutely.
Help a team win, right?
It is. The thing I like the most about these guys is they understand the team concept. Whether it be who plays well in a game or who is walking up here talking to the media. And by the way, they're not clamoring to get up here and talk to the media. By the way, I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not. They're not fighting to see who gets to talk in front of the cameras here. But they're team players. All of them are. And we get a lot of awards. Obviously Alex is getting great awards here, and these guys get awards, but I know what we do as a team means much more to them than anything that happens individually, and that makes us better as a team too.
Jim, how much of that is what you preach and the way you run your program, and how much of that is these kids already having that instilled before they get in the program?
Well, I try to recruit guys that I feel are team-oriented. And then I think I mentioned the team concept to these guys a few times. That brainwashing process, it may have come out a couple of times, but they're team-oriented guys from the start, and we work from there. But obviously they don't care who scores, who gets credit. They just want to win, and they're doing a pretty good job of it.
Obviously.
I'm just going to ask you to get back and talk about outworking people. Did you think that about midway through the first half that you were starting to get into their legs a little bit, that they were getting a little bit slow, and it just seemed like you guys just found another gear and they couldn't keep up?
I thought there was a period in the first half that when shots were coming a little bit easier. I thought Cedric did a good job of maybe taking advantage of that. He got a step on his guy, and then he drew help and kicked it to whether CJ for a layup or Seeger for a three. And I think that was a result of a little bit of what you're talking about when those shots come that easy. And we made a living off that. With media timeouts, it's a little tougher. The game stops more. But still, I thought it did take effect midway through the first half or late in the first half.
Jim, whereas you guys can have anybody step up and lead you guys in scoring on any given night, and you guys have, you knew coming in that the Westmoreland kid from them does a lot of the damage. You look down the stats here, 8 for 24, and I don't know that he really got what you would term an easy shot tonight.
Yeah, I thought he was held in check pretty well, and some of his points came kind of late in the game. A few of his buckets came late. He's very talented. He can put the ball on the floor. I think he even surprised our guys a few times how fast his first step is, and he's long and can get to the rim, and he can shoot the ball well from the three-point line. We're always hoping that there's a little bit of fatigue that maybe the threes don't go down as easy for guys like him who play a lot of minutes, have to play hard to get their shots. And I don't know if he made any threes, but he made maybe one or two. But I think he's a great three-point shooter. In a more controlled game, he's a better shooter than he is in a game like today where the ball's up and down and he's pressured to get every single pass. It makes it a little tougher for him. But he's an outstanding player. If you look back at the CIAA tournament, what he did, it was pretty amazing. He put up 38 in the championship game, and that's why he's an all-conference player there. And again, Bowie State, they're very well coached. They've just beaten 3 good teams back-to-back by 15 points. They have good size. They came up here rested and ready to go. I really felt like that we beat a good basketball team today.
This is for any of the 3 players that would like to answer. Everybody sees and is going to look at the score and see 114 for you guys, but I don't really think people understand how you guys score. You do it led by your defense. Can you guys talk about the defensive part of the game?
Go ahead, CJ.
Well, that's what we really stress in practice. We practice the way we play. Every day we go against each other. I mean, obviously we have so many guys on the team. It's like playing a game every day against good competition. So I think that really helps us. And just getting turnovers. We stress good traps and trying to rotate. And sometimes we miss rotations, but then I feel like when we run them down the backside, a lot of teams aren't ready for the back tip, and that helps us get a lot of steals. I know Cedric and Sean and Alex and Tim are all great at running down and getting that extra tip. And I think that's really what helps take the pressure off like the back end. And a lot of teams just don't realize that when you're running down, that you still got to worry about another trap coming from behind.
Cedric, how difficult is this?
CJ ran a guy down. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but he missed a pass went flying out of bounds. He went out of bounds and he ran a guy down from behind and tipped it. Everybody was pretty excited about that, CJ.
More importantly, how was Cedric? It's like you got 30 points when you left the game. Did you re-aggravate your arm or anything? Or?
I tweaked it a little bit, but I'm good. I'm fine.
He's ready. He was ready to go for the second half.
That's all we needed to hear.
Yes.
Sean, a lot of times in situations like the one you guys are in, you've been #1 in the country three separate years now. You're going to get everybody's best shot, and sometimes that can be a little bit too much for teams come tournament time. But you guys look really loose, and you guys seem like you almost relish this opportunity.
Yeah, I think that those 2 weeks kind of helped us off. We were just ready to play. We were sprinting, trapping hard, chasing. But it's good to be #1, but I don't really think we buy into that. Oh, we're #1. Let it get to us. We just go out there and play for 40 minutes.
Possible 4th matchup with somebody that you know very well again tomorrow.
It's going to be Fairmont or Livingstone. We're going to find out here in a little bit. Obviously, Livingstone's last ranked. Fairmont's a great team, so we're going to play a good opponent tomorrow night. Who it is, we'll find out here in a little bit.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thanks, guys.